All right, so we are here with Brynna in the middle studio at the SI campus. Hi, Brynna. Okay, so this is funny because I don't know a ton about you. I mean, I know a little bit about you, but for people who are watching this, what would you want them to know about you?
Well, so born and raised in Central Illinois. I got my degree in fine art from Southern Illinois University and then sprinted down to New Orleans, Louisiana as fast as I could. And I lived there and was a working artist and bartender until 3 years ago. We moved to Brynna, so fairly new to the area.
Yeah.
Love it here.
And how did you find out about Eureka?
Well, so I went on my senior trip in high school to Lake Ozarks. So we were kind of looking in that area when we were deciding where to move and found Eureka and fell in love with it. And then when we got here and it was like there were so many more Iranians that was like crazy.
I know, it's crazy. The population exploded.
Love it.
Cool. Okay, so how long have you been interested in art?
As far back as I can remember, my grandmother, who I'm very close with, is an excellent sewer, and she did macrame and needlepoint and embroidery, and always invited me to help her with all of it. So I've kind of always been crafting. Jewelry came a little bit later, I think, like middle school, high school. You know, the French bracelet craze.
Oh yeah.
Very into that. Then I was kind of a hippie in high school and college, so I made a lot of my own jewelry, and then that kind of is probably the day that I told my parents I wanted to switch my major from education to art.
What
Not the greatest day for them, but
no, they weren't excited about it.
no.
I know, isn't that funny?
Into
Most parents are like, no.
So, but they've always been really supportive. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's very cool. So when you what's your process when you're thinking about making a new piece? How does that come about?
Well, so usually it's either some particular like additive to it. So either a stone or mostly a stone. I also really love sculpture art. So a lot of my pieces are kind of, I think my brain works a little bit more like sculptural.
And I can see that in the ring that you made. That is yours, right? That's when you made it. And what about the necklace?
Yes. And then usually I kind of just, I like really big jewelry, and I love if it doubles as a weapon.
Yeah.
So
Is that how you market it?
sometimes, yeah. So, and then I just kind of usually I'll have a rough plan. But one of the things I really love about metalsmithing is the like step-by-step process of how you have to plan out the stages of your piece because of soldering temperatures.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's usually how the process goes. And then sometimes I go further just moving.
That's awesome. So do you have hopes of for the future as far as making jewelry and what you hope to do with that? Or?
Yeah, so some years ago I was still in New Orleans, and we kind of, my husband's also an artist, and so we would bend art markets 5 days a week, and then I also bartended to make sure we could.
Yeah.
But I designed a few lines at that point, and then that kind of life got in the way, as it always does. So this opportunity to be the artist in residence here has kind of like reignited that flame for me.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of these tools at home, so it's kind of been like a way to accumulate as given enough money to make it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm back in like a fully functioning studio, it's that always turning at like how I can streamline that and make that happen.
Awesome. Is there any talk about you doing teaching a workshop at SS?
Yeah, so I was scheduled to do a family day workshop, which I was really excited about, also really nervous about. speaker. But then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So hopefully, once the campus opens back up and I get a little bit more comfortable talking,
Yeah.
you know,
Get back to it.
get back into it.
Yeah. Okay. This has nothing to do with jewelry or art, or it could if you wanted to. But is there something in life that you just cannot live without? Like, is there one thing that you cannot imagine living without?
Plants. Yes. I'm obsessed. Our house kind of looks like a jungle. I don't know how I'm going to get genuinely not know how I'm going to get them all inside the So, but luckily my partner is very understanding and lets me hang them everywhere. It looks like it.
So you have beautiful, fresh oxygen flowing through your.
I love it. The burger would be very happy.
I know. Well, once you get them moved in, I wonder how long it's going to take you to water them all. Like, is it an all-day event?
Yeah. So, well, right now when I water the garden, we have an outdoor vegetable garden, and just the porch plants alone takes about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And that's not including Wednesdays is a different water day for
Yeah.
the plants in the house, and that's another probably half an hour. So,
I love plants. We water everything on Sunday, and it only takes about an hour, so I feel pretty good about it. But I can see how you could easily get to that point because it's just like, especially when it comes to like succulents, you're like, oh, you know, like those poor little succulents at Walmart that are just like withered, and you still see that there's life there, and you're like, honey, we have to take it with us. That's how I got into supplements.
Yeah, that's where, which then that feeds into my necessity for macrame.
Yeah. Yes.
Quite obsessed with making and owning macrames.
Well, and your creations are beautiful. And now that I know that you got that from your grandmother, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I bet she loves that you carried on that tradition.
She does. And then too, I'm just about the only one in the family who likes like 60s and 70s decor. And my mom had a ton of my grandma and her sister raised, those huge like brown tapestries with the karate beads and everything.
Yes.
And I just had to like beg my mom for years to get those to me. And then she finally no one else likes, the orange and the green. And give it all to me. So
win-win.
It works out. But it is neat to see, previous generation women's work in the house.
It is. Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, I'm curious, if people want to see more of your work, do you have a place where they can get a hold of you, or email address, or?
Yeah, so I'm really bad about posting it, but it'll be one of my resolutions through quarantine, figuring this out. But my business page is on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is always better, and it's Lunar Fringe Outpost.
Lunar Fringe Outpost.
And that's usually I'll post anything I make that's for sale. I've been making a lot of stuff for myself right now.
There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be sorry.
And then you can also send messages and such. And like you said earlier, I do commissions.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully once the ESSA campus is open again, I hope they'll do a workshop and then people can check it out for themselves. Okay, that's it. Thanks, lady.